Okie dokie. Hello, everyone. I am here but not here. No face cam today because I feel kind of poopy. But it's okay because we are going to get this GM turn handled. So, welcome to GM turn number 6 of Apocalypse Squirrel Countdown. Our last session was pretty weird, to say the least. We learned some things about Booty and about Rill, and Oler kind of went in and took a move that really makes me happy. And Reneguchi is, I feel like she's always just trying to survive and hang on um, when all these other things happen around her. But let us go through our threats. So number one, the candy shop. Um, there's some things we're no longer interested in here. The candy, we don't care. Um, and it wasn't the junkyard that changed Bob, it was the queen. We know that now. Um, what questions do we have? Maybe who will win fight between Barker and Bob? So the candy shop, they haven't been there really in a while. They haven't been outside of the city in a while. So when they get back, and if there's space or attention given to Bob and Barker, this conflict will occur. But right now, it's still in the background. The junkyard. Yeah. So the cats have converted a wolf. Well, the queen converted a wolf. So let's change this to a wolf gets converted. And once again, we really haven't had space for Bob, but I think Bob is going to be the one to speak to Gucci if and when we get time. Then I guess our sixth question here is, what will Gucci build to aid the overgrowth? And I think the next time a wolf gets trapped, it might end up in the vivarium. Which wolf will be trapped by the junkyard? So yeah, we'll see. But that's kind of all we need to do for that right now. The vivarium, so Oler took a move called Step into the Flow, which allows them to use their source of water in these sorts of quasi-religious rituals. Um, and they used it to bless Bullseye and send him into the vivarium, which is going to be great for his hey Sith Master, for his story. But the vivarium itself still needs a wolf. So, and I think Lucy is now lady of the vivarium. Lucy, as she was, no longer exists, and we just have, that's way too big. We just have her body that's been taken over by the woman who used to be in the screens. So Lucy is now the name of the lady of the vivarium. The vivarium needs a wolf to start its inevitable overgrowth business. So it's a question of we're still wondering if Oler is going to feed Booty. And I guess how well I feel like the vivarium is going to give Oler instructions to that effect soon. But how can Bullseye convince Oler to sacrifice a wolf? 'Cause that's what they really want. Bullseye's gonna have some spiritual words. I can zoom in a bit on this. I could see it, but maybe other people can't. Bullseye is gonna have some instructions from on high, and Lucy also is going to, um, if she's the one consulted, she's also going to have this. Uh, they want a wolf, and they need to convince Buller, or Bullseye will attack Booty himself. But one of the two is going to happen. Um, so I guess our stakes question is: how will they sacrifice a wolf, or will he do it himself? So Bullseye is going to be gunning for Booty. And I think that's where that's going to go. The screenheads got their shit kicked in. So yeah, the screenheads, they pointed real at the Concord Hall. So this clock is something that could still happen. We need to decide if the Concord Hall is burned down. That means that there's no way to convert wolves anymore. And I think that means that there's no counter anymore to the creation of wolves, or the planting of them into the party's reality. So I think wolves overrun the city. Or maybe this is 12. There's a lot of things going on here. Wolves overrun the city at 12. And here we see mass production of wolves. So yeah, if the Concord Hall is burned down, there's no longer a counter. And now Rill is no longer a wolf herself. But I don't know that she cares about that. Stone was sacrificed. They're actually all fucked up. So we'll see what happens with them. I think Worm is still functional. What will Worm do when he wakes? Because he's dead, but he's, as you know, in this game, dead doesn't mean you don't function. And the wolves have been brought in much closer. They're no longer in the city, they're in the back of Grandma Gucci's car, for the most part. Stone was sacrificed. Central Park. I don't know. I don't know that we care about this right now. This is where the wolves are manufactured primarily. So I guess our question could be, I don't know if we even have one. Um, we can add to the cast a powerful being of static. I believe that person is here. But we don't really. Central Park is, if they burn down the Concord Hall, Central Park is going to move into the foreground. But right now, the Queen is definitely keeping that contained. Speaking of which, the Queen. Um, so Gucci did her business. We're not interested in that, but we do tick forward here. And it's not so much that she'll contain the screen heads, she'll contain the screens. Um, she'll invade Central Park. If she invades Central Park with what army, though? So maybe she needs to get that first. Queen will recruit an army of some sort. She'll invade Central Park. Um, but containing the powerful being is static. It's totally not gonna just chill. And I think the retaliation will the being bleh, of static retaliates. And that's not how you spell that. Retaliates? Retaliates. And breaks the world. Not breaks, rips world. Because we know that that being has the ability to peel back the world to insert newly made wolves. Excuse me. But I think if they're confronted head on, they will rip the world. Um, so we'll see. We will see. But I think probably have mistakes questions here, and that is where will the Queen find an army? She has the knight, who's like pretty big and scary. She has the squire, who isn't at all, but shoots a mean BB gun. But where is she gonna get an army to attack Central Park if she's able to shut down the screens? Oh, the wolves. So Rill is no longer a wolf. Booty is definitely a wolf. Um, I think the reason Worm is able to move around after dying is that they are a wolf. He is a wolf. Um, Rill deals with their nature by being converted and choking up feathers. Um, these two questions we don't know yet. I'm not sure if they matter, but we don't know yet. Um, I think, excuse me, I think Worm, when Worm wakes up, he's going to attack the Vivarium. So we don't need to have the sixth question. We know that that's what's going to happen. Um, so I guess what we need to know is, wait, where is it? Wolves. Will Worm poison the Vivarium? So that's what Worm wants to do. Worm wants to. Worm is not the wolf that they want to sacrifice for the overgrowth. Worm is Worm's a virus. Worm's like a Trojan. He'll get down there and fuck shit up. So unless Oler manages to purify or sanctify Worm in some way before he gets sacrificed or sent down there, there's going to be a problem. Or I suppose if Oler does it, if Oler or Bullseye sacrifice Worm, it's okay. If Worm gets down there under his own agency, it's not okay. So Worm is going to attack the Vivarium. Next, we have the Tillers. Bullseye spoke to Middleman. Bullseye wants to form a cult. There's so few people, and this is kind of an issue since the Fast and the Furious were sent to the city to be chewed up by it. There's not a lot of people around. So where, or rather, how does Bullseye attract a cult? For a sakes question. I think there's a broadcast or some sort of signal that Bullseye is able to send. And maybe that's something he asks Gramaguchi for help with. But he's able to send something to attract people from further away. And I think Bullseye's cult has moved closer inside because Oler is definitely like Oler and Bullseye have formed some sort of closer relationship, and I think also the wolves have moved closer inside. Let's check positions. Okay. Those are good. Oler's gang is still a thing. Lucy is not part of that. But Oler's gang is a thing. Middleman, the cats, I think now Stone. Stone is going to be one of them. We know how Lucy's different. She is now the Lady of the Vivarium. This gang is kind of just in the background fucking things up, but they haven't really like coalesced enough to have a plan. I think the next time they get away from Oler, they might try to kidnap Gramaguchi. The next time Oler fails a leader of the pack role, that'll be what happens. But right now, they're just kind of a loose association of fuck-ups. So, okay, let's look at our overall threat map. Some things have moved around. So we've got the wolves. That is correct. Oler's gang isn't on the inside, it's down. There we go. Okay, so the Tillers and Bullseye have moved to the inside, the outside. Lucy and Bob are all fine here. The rest of this looks pretty okay. The screen heads have moved in closer because they're in the back of Gramaguchi's car. They're definitely on the way. So this is alright. Stakes questions. Bullseye aligns with Oler in the Vivarium. I don't even know what this is about. Yes, we don't know where Squares is. He might show up still. We know what happened to Booty. She gets a pair of crow's legs. What are our questions now? Because I do have a few. I just have to organize my thoughts. How will Worm try to get away from Gucci? Because he definitely will. Um, what tool can Gucci provide Bullseye to attract followers? So I think he wants her to build him something. She did just get that loudspeaker, and I think he's got a different idea of what can be done with it. Um, how will Rill change after being purged of the maelstrom? And that's something I'll need to talk to Britt about and see what she thinks her character is like now that she's lost a quality she didn't even know she had. That could be interesting. Um, more importantly, will Real still burn down the fucking, like, what will Real burn down? 'Cause I think she still really wants to do that. Burn something down. Um, I think that's good for now. So for next session, which remember, the next 2 weeks are off because Brit's traveling for conventions. Um, I think I think Worm's gonna get away and attack the Vivarium. I think Bullseye is gonna try and talk to Granny Gucci and see about getting something built to further a cult to help till what was the subdivision. And I think Oler is going to receive instructions that the Vivarium needs a wolf to complete its project. Um, and I think if they leave the Queen alone, she's going to start her countdown towards um, finding an army and attacking Central Park, and uh, ultimately ending up ripping the world, or having the world be ripped. And what does it mean? What does that even mean? I don't know. Let's ask. What does it mean for the world to be ripped? I would like to know what that looks like. And I think that's not what the Maelstrom wants. The Maelstrom wants to dominate the world, but if it's ripped, what would that even look like? Like how would reality be different? Is a question I have. But yeah, I think this session was a very straightforward one. We had a lot of questions got answered the last time. Um, in terms of how the Queen, Rill, Booty, the Screenheads, all of that like came together in a messy way, and I think we got some resolution on some parts. Um, but what we really need to know is what we want to know next session is what Rill is going to do now that she's coughed up the bit of maelstrom that was inside of her, and maybe what we want to know is um, how will the maelstrom try to get Rill back? Rill was very like nice, covert wolf that wanted to burn things up. Maybe the Maelstrom wants her back. So, yeah, Worm attacking the Vivarium. Bullseye talking to Gucci about forming a cult. Um, and figuring out what Rill is going to do in her newfound self. Um, but that's kind of it. Really quick one this time. Really quick one. And I'm kind of into it. I really want to know what's going to happen with the Conquered Hall. I think we've definitely hit the midpoint, maybe past it. And I think things are going to get more dire until they wind to their inevitable, messy conclusion. And we'll see what that looks like. But I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for coming by to see me fiddle. Well, not see me because I feel like shit. I don't want to put my face on the stream, but to see me fiddle with threats and stuff. Have a good rest of the weekend. And I will see you for this stream in like 3 weeks. Hopefully, by then I'll have moved to California and started my new job even. So, I don't know, might be a different Trist, but we'll see. Have a good one. Bye.